Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen Alpha 4.0.2 has yet another release candidate that I want to talk about. That patch is going to be going live pretty soon, probably later today, maybe even by the time you've seen this video. We also have an ISC and Inside Star Citizen talking about the fight for Pyro, but more relevantly, the supply or die event that's part of 4.0.2. So, firstly, the Fight for Pyro event, which is currently ongoing, is going to be continuing throughout March now. CIG have said, yeah, we're going to extend this because 4.0.2 is more playable and some people have not had the opportunity to complete the Fight for Pyro event. With Fight for Pyro, there are some interesting missions. There's 3 factions to choose from to get involved with. There's data pads and hints around about what's going on. And CIG have said as well, you might notice that the armor of one of the factions, like the Frontier Fighters, is very similar to the armor, just with a different color difference for the slicers. So basically CIG in Inside Star Citizen went, look, the Frontier Fighters were pretending to be the slicers in the first chapter of this event to help justify a purge of the pyro system. So they did a false flag operation. They went into Stanton, they pretended they were this horrible pirate faction and staged some attacks on Stanton, and then went, look, let's go wipe out the whole of the pyro system, civilians, pirates and all. So yes, CIG made the Frontier Fighters to kind of mess with player morals and show like we're going to have twists in some of these stories. It's actually a pretty cool story. Frontier Fighters are led by a merc called Amelia. They're the ones responsible for those attacks and were pretending that they were the slicers. So the next part of the chapter, Supply or Die, is part of 4.0.2. It's split into 3 parts though, and you can do any or all of these missions as sort of many times as you want. The CFP, the Citizens for Pyro, and the Headhunters are trying to resupply and rebuild after fighting each other, and the Frontier Fighters. So yeah, they're going to want to fight back against the Frontier Fighters is the idea here as well. Again, this is a one-shot event with some special rewards. They want players to jump in, join the fun, and completing the missions and doing some of the missions that are available for this event will get you progression towards getting some cool loot. There are some awesome looking scavenger paints for what appears to be the Misk Fortune, the Prospector and the Vulture. They're covered in graffiti and tags, but there's also a large diorama of some Desatrine that you can place in your hangar. Yeah, you can earn those rewards and earn loads of money from doing any of these sort of 3 main sets of missions. So there's the Jump Town-like missions. There are 6 new locations in Pyro, 1 on each of the major planets. There are depots here, which are like smaller outposts. And these depots have the scavengers from the Ghost Arena there. There's NPCs defending, basically, and they've graffitied instructions and tips around as well. These are PvP, high-risk, high-reward locations. You've got to go and buy or steal or otherwise get units of Desatrine. This is a valuable chemical that's used for medical supplies, narcotics, etc. that are available from those depots or wherever else you can get them from if you fight players or whatever. Bring them back to your faction drop-off. You can also sell these to get very high profits, but Pyro is dangerous. This is meant to be very PvP orientated as a mission. There's some mining missions as well, so factions are going to want you to get ice from the edge of the pyro system and tin, which is closer to the center of the system. You can get that by stealing, mining, or buying, I suppose, as well. Take it back to your faction. That's another way of getting those rewards or earning up experience towards them. And then you've got salvage missions. Again, get RMC and construction materials by any means. So gather them, buy them, blow up other ships and get them. Interestingly, the PvP versus PvE stuff going on here. Pyro is a dangerous system. You are potentially going to have significantly high risk of PvP occurring. That's where they want PvP to happen for the most part. The salvage and mining sides are potentially less PvP orientated, but yeah, high risk, high reward. You could do all of this stuff without firing a shot. Also, CIG talked a bit about group play and doing stuff solo. So all of these can be done solo, but they're moving away from splitting mission rewards, which will make a lot of people happy. They don't want you all to jump into a mission and, well, not really be incentivized to jump into a mission together because their mission rewards will be too small. So they don't want that to happen. People, they're going to be rewarded pretty well for doing these missions. They're going to scale with the size of the group that the mission's built for. Currently, solo is like small missions, 4 to 6 is like a medium-sized mission, and 10 and above, large mission, but that's not an exact science. In future patches, though, rewards are going to scale dynamically to the group that you have. The takeaway from this is CIG are going to want to encourage group play in almost every case and not disincentivize it. With these dynamic events as well, they want players to get involved, the choices that players make, and the winners of these missions overall. So if like one faction does incredibly well compared to others, that's going to affect the story going forward. Fight for Pyro, still going to be running throughout March as well, and I believe the Supply or Die event will be running at the same time with the release of that 4.0.2 patch, although it might not be instantly upon 4.0.2's release that we get Supply or Die, but it could be immediately. We'll have to wait and see. With that in mind, there has been a new Star Citizen 4.0.2 PTU release candidate build, release candidate 3. This build has further updated transit with some self-healing code to help reduce further issues with transit getting stuck and not responding. So elevators and trams and that sort of stuff are much more likely to not have issues now. 4.0.2 has also fixed many exploits. Due to the nature of these, they don't mention which ones are fixed and which ones aren't. More client crashes have been fixed. They appear to have fixed some of the, or more of the, unstowing and hangar issues that were plaguing the game. Purchasing commodities and items should now work properly as well. However, there are some known issues still that they still listed, some of which may have been fixed by now or have fixes ready. So Supply or Die, destroying cargo that has already been destroyed can blow up again when you go into quantum travel, causing damage to your ship and other undamaged cargo. At the moment, the workaround is remove the destroyed cargo from your ship before you quantum travel. Transit gateways can get stuck. There are potentially still some problems with ship stowing and unstowing, but I know they've addressed some of them at least. The tutorial mission can stop progressing. Commoray repair missions can become hidden. Some PvP missions don't work or stop working or don't actually get propagated properly. Party members don't appear on the star map or area map. Jump points can have deadly collisions with asteroids, and failing a jump point can displace a player far away from the gateway station. So hopefully they've got some more of those already solved and they'll be able to get them into the live build or hotfix them upon deployment of live. I do suspect we'll have the live build later today, if not already. It's possible they'll push it back to next week though, so bear that in mind. Also, there's no planned wipe with this patch, so that's something to know. However, certain things will get wiped. So anything that's volatile, character data, make sure you've saved your character's appearance, customizations of your hangars, anything that's usable that you might have, or consumable I should say, like medical equipment and ammo, food, water, that sort of stuff gets wiped. Refinery jobs. Someone asked, are we going to have the stuff like cards and things that you found in contested zones wiped with this patch launch of 4.0.2. Niku actually responded here. Contested zone cards will be lost when transitioning from point 1 to point 2, but we've ensured these items will persist moving forwards. This means that cards obtained in 4.0.2 will remain in persistence as future updates are released. So unfortunately this time, some of that stuff will be wiped, but your Alpha UEC, your ships, and most of your gear and that sort of stuff will stay for the most part. It looks like one of the things they're going to be doing with the monthly patches is making sure as much of your stuff stays as possible from patch to patch. And if Star Citizen want to run the game like a live service and an MMO, then they're going to need to make sure everything carries across during a patch move, yeah? You want all those consumables, you want your refinery jobs and everything like that. You want to know that they're not going to have problems when they're moving across. So expect that probably in the not too distant future as well. Boom! That's your updates today. I am really interested to know, are you playing in the latest 4.0.2 patch? What are your experiences of that? Have you been getting involved with the fight for Pyro? Are you looking forward to Supply or Die? And what elements are you wanting to do with it? Or are you staying away from Pyro because you're not really interested in even having the possibility of PvP? Are you really happy that they've extended the Fight for Pyro set of missions because you were unable to complete them because you were experiencing bugs in 4.0.1? I know a lot of people in my comments were saying that. Are you expecting any sneaky surprises to turn up during 4.0.2, like a new ship or variant, or do you think they're going to save that for like Stellar Fortuna later in March? Whatever your thoughts or questions, chuck them in the comments below. I love to read them. Also, a reason to comment is because you got things like a giveaway for a ship like the Misk Fortune. It is a Misk Fortune with a couple of skins from the Red Festival, but also a lifetime insurance and a game package. It was kind of given to us by CIG for this giveaway. In fact, today, I believe, is the last day that you can win that. So, well, good luck. Also, something that will help with your luck is NordVPN. Links below to that. Get yourself a VPN with better accessibilities, privacies, and securities on your interwebs. I use NordVPN so you don't have to. No, you should also use NordVPN. That's the one. NordVPN.com/BoredGamer. It helps the channel, as does the join button under my videos and all the other links like Toby Eye Tracker, all that sort of stuff. Have a look at that if you are interested. Become a Patreon if you want. Like, share, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. It really helps the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.